Hey, this is Matt once again. What about in the video? There's another paid request, this time for Joseph. Thank you for that, and for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, whatever. Feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now this is for Joseph. One of my thoughts on the actor and action star Chow Yun-fat. How do I rank him amongst other action stars and the like? Now, you probably see the picture over there, but just in case, there's also this. And, by the way, fuck Hong Kong Rescue. Maybe I'll do a rant on that at the end of this, we'll see as to why I say that. But, Chow Yun-fat, and people don't say, well, that's not how you pronounce the name. Well, it's easier for me to say it that way, and many of the advertising in America, when a film of his was coming out, they would call him Chow Yun-fat, so that's how I'm calling it. Now, I didn't grow up with him, meaning I didn't see his films when I was a kid. The place I would go and the family would go to rent movies, they didn't have really much of any Hong Kong stuff. Maybe a little bit of Jackie Chan when he was getting big, like Rumble in the Bronx style, but not many others than that. Now, it wasn't until around between 1998 to 2001, somewhere around there on cable in Iowa, saw Hard Boiled on cable. I forget what channel it was, but it was uncut because it was no commercials. And okay, there's an action scene. Okay, this is hospital. Let's see how this goes. I was just flipping through, and then it kept going. I'm like, holy shit! Well, what the fuck? I'm like, whoa! What is this? I was blown away. And then kind of found it was John Woo, the guy who directed Hard Tardy, Broken Arrow, and this is what he did before that. And what is this movie? It's Hard Boiled, and just found another time when it was on, watched it from the beginning, loved it. And, you know, I liked The Killer. I really liked A Better Tomorrow 2. I liked Once Upon a Thief, the first half. I was like, eh. But as it got going, I really grew to like that film. And I do think the second half is worth it for, you know, the first half might be, eh. But the second half is a lot of fun. I really like the second half. I think the third act especially is very satisfying. Now, he did a couple films in America, which didn't... His American career didn't last too long, because he had The Replacement Killers, which I did quite enjoy, by Antoine Fuqua. You had The Corruptor, less said about that the better. Anna and the Teen, which I didn't see, because I didn't care to see it. Around that time, he also did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which of course that was a big critically acclaimed movie. Then right after, he did Bulletproof Monk, which sadly I saw in the theater. Now, I'll get more in detail for this a little bit. And then he was in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Dragon Ball Evolution. And then he's done other films, but I don't know jack squat about any of them, to be honest. And they're mostly over in overseas. And it seems like he doesn't like doing action films. He didn't like guns. He never wants to do the... I mean, I think he did his voice for that John Woo Stranglehold. That's kind of a sequel to Hard Boiled. But as for movie-wise, that's why, like, you never see him in John Wick. Because he doesn't really want to do that stuff. Hasn't for the longest time. So, I mean, it'd be cool to see him in John Wick. But you never know when to get that. Now, do I like him? Yes, he's got a great charisma and presence to him. And I repeat that a lot with action stars, because I think that's some of the essential parts to make you a great action star. Good actor, he knows how to handle himself during the action sequences. You just watch Hard Boiled alone, and you can tell. But even like The Replacement Killers, he definitely knows how to handle the action. He's definitely... I don't want to say like a dancer, but those type of moves, like going down the banister, the rails, and doing a great jump with a shotgun. Like, he knows how to do those swiftly and make it look good on camera. And even when in the U.S., when his American accent, his dialect was actually fairly good. I understood what he was saying. He still had a great presence to him. I think The Replacement Killers is a damn good action movie with him and Mira Sorvino. And that should have led to him doing more of those type of films, but that film didn't do a whole lot of anything, sadly. Still an underrated movie. Now, going back a bit, The Killer is a good one. It's got Inframan himself, which for the guy Danny Lee, but I always remember him as the lead as Inframan. For some reason, I thought he had passed away, but he's thankfully still with us. And that's cool to have. I don't know why I'm looking over there. I don't have the film. Well, actually, no. I have a DVD, but it's like the all-right DVD. That's the weird thing, is that these films... Yeah, I see it right there now. Dragon Dynasty. I don't know. I guess maybe it's more the Blu-rays are a bit clunky in the U.S. I don't know why. You think with John Woo we would get better Blu-rays in the U.S. for those movies, but what do I know? Still waiting for a good Blu-ray of Bullet in the Head, especially in the U.S. I'm on other ones. The Killer had a crazy action sequence in the church. Wonderful sequence of events. Hard Boiled is my favorite of his. In Phut Hong Kong Rescue. I'll get to that, because that'll go a whole on tangent. Hard Boiled is great. Wall-to-wall action. The cast worked well. Tony Leung, Chow Yun-fat. Excellent action set pieces. The score works very well. Great, wonderful style. Awesome movie. You see why people wanted him after watching The Killer and Hard Boiled. I like A Better Tomorrow too. Well, I guess if we call it A Bullet Tomorrow, there's enough of them. I'm not a fan of the first A Better Tomorrow. Couldn't get into it. That was very boring. A Better Tomorrow 2, I liked Chow Yun-fat's character more. Or at least he plays like I think the brother character of the one in the first one. I liked him more. I liked the action scenes more. The bit with the shotgun going through the doors. The whole finale where there's like 100 fucking guys in this house and... Like I said, Once Upon a Thief, which is about these three art thieves. It starts off a bit slow, and I'm not sure, but I think, like I said, the second half, the third act really made it satisfying to me as a watch. Like, if I ranked them, it would be Hard Boiled. That'd be number 1. Honestly, The Replacement Killers is underrated, so I put that number 2. The Killer, number 3. A Better Tomorrow 2, number 4. And Once Upon a Thief, number 5. Because in America, people like Tarantino I don't know why the fuck didn't Tarantino cast him in the movie. I never understood that. You would think Quentin Tarantino would jump at the chance to try to cast this guy in a movie. I don't know why, though. But The Replacement Killers did not do anything, and it's sad, because I think that's a damn good movie. You have Mira Sorvino, you got, what was it, Michael Rooker. That felt like in spirit of a John Woo film. Then after that, you had The Corruptor with Marky Mark and his Funky Bunch, Mark Wahlberg. And the mistake was he was the star, not Chow Yun-fat. And I didn't even give a shit about Mark Wahlberg. Now, I know it's weird for me to say that, because there are films of his that I do like. I like The Big Hit. I liked The Italian Job. But it's almost like I liked them despite Mark Wahlberg being in them. But let me put it this way. I may like movies despite Mark Wahlberg being in them, but Mark Wahlberg is never my favorite part of the movie. I like Three Teens, but I like George Clooney more. I like The Big Hit. I could deal with Mark Wahlberg, but I like the action, the spectacle, and Lou Diamond Phillips more. I like The Italian Job, but I like the banter of the team. You had like what, Seth Green, Jason Statham, and then others. Edward Norton's the villain. Decent script. But this though, Chow Yun-fat, I mean, it's like he's partners, and then you find out he's dirty cop. It's, like, why'd it have to be Mark Wahlberg? Why can't Chow Yun-fat be the lead in this? Just didn't care for it. And in the teen, like I said, not my kind of movie. Crouching Tiger, Dragon, I always thought was overrated. Got very bored. I don't care for a lot of the wire work, wushu, flying around the cloud stuff. That's just not, most of the time, not for me in terms of action sequences. It's just not my cup of tea. Bulletproof Monk, I saw in the theater, and it was a bad experience. Because number one, it was a shitty movie, where the big point of conversation is how many hot dogs, and then how many hot dog buns, and how come they're not the same. Which doesn't matter, because they are the same nowadays, so it's a dated fucking point. I like Sean William Scott, but all the wire work, because it was The Matrix. It was after The Matrix. This was around the time the Matrix sequels were coming out. So any other fucking action film had to be like The Matrix as well, to capitalize on the sequels coming out and the success of The Matrix a few years ago. So you have bullet time and fucking slow-mo. And I know it's based on a comic book, but guess what? The movie didn't do anything, so no one remembers the comic book. And Chow Yun-fat was the teacher, the Sean William Scott. Didn't do much. Also, the theater experience didn't help because a bunch of twat waffles talking in the front row, and none of those ladies would shut the fuck up. I was ready to complain about it, but the movie sucked, so I didn't. If it was a good movie, then I would have complained. But since it was a shitty movie, I'm like, well, I guess I'll fucking whatever. I'm not going to leave because I at least want to see how the movie ends. Just, you know, just so I know. Because, you know, just how I am. Plus, it's a comfy seat. I love the movie theater popcorn. At least eat this. Sure, throwing it at them, but they're pretty far away. Plus, I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to let them. Knowing me, I would have yelled something, and then I'd get in trouble and get kicked out. I'm like, no, I want to go back to this theater again. So, you know, it's a shitty movie. I'm not going to do that over a shitty movie. Fuck. Just let them keep talking. I was hoping someone else would yell and scream at them, too. Don't talk in the middle of a fucking movie, man. God damn it. Whether it's shit or not. And like again, he was in a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Dragon Ball Evolution. I fucking forgot he was in that piece of shit. I'm not even a Dragon Ball expert. And I know that movie sucks. Get some fucking white guy to play Goku for some reason. I mean, by their logic, I could play Goku. Can't even say the fucking name. You're hired now. But I didn't even say the name right. Well, that's what we want. Fucking hell. Now, I mean, to rank him among other action stars, lower only because his American career sadly didn't take off like others did. Like Jackie Chan's did. Like, you look at Jackie Chan, he got from one of them. Well, I mean, granted, they were overseas. But even like American, like, I like Rush Hour. I like Rush Hour 2. I like Shanghai Noon. I don't mind Shanghai Nights. Trying to think of American stuff. I mean, there's some lame ones he did too, but I looked at their total number of films I liked. For Chow Yun-fat, there's like 5. There's only 5 movies of his I've seen I liked. I said Hard Boiled, The Replacement Killers, The Killer, Better Tomorrow 2, and Once Upon a Thief. Either I didn't care for them or I haven't seen them. I look at other action stars. I mean, I look at Dolph Lundgren. I love Rocky IV, Red Scorpion, The Punisher, I Come in Peace, Shogun no Tokyo, Men of War. Even I like The Defender. I like Russian Specialist. I like Command Performance. Van Damme, as I love Bloodsport, Cyborg, Kickboxer, Hard Target, Time Cop, Universal Soldier. I mean, maybe compare like Jeff Speakman. Just like Jeff Speakman, I like The Perfect Weapon, Street Knight, Deadly Outbreak, Land of the Free. So that's 4. So it's close. The Chow Yun-Fat. Now you're talking about like Hong Kong actors, I would put him high up on the list because, like you said, I really do like his presence. I do like his acting, and maybe that's what Joseph's meaning. Like, he does have that look, he does have that talent, he does have that factor of a leading man, and you just see why he just oozes out coolness out of his pores. He got such a cool factor with his stare, and it just, he just oozes out cool. And the way he's dressed up in the movies, whether it be the trench coat or the glasses or the 2 guns, he knew how to play John Woo's strengths of who these characters need to be. He's very talented in that aspect. So while he probably would not be in my top 10 action stars, well, I don't know. Like, because I didn't grow up with him, because I looked at like Sylvester Stallone and Jean-Claude Van Damme, and like for me it'd be Dolph Lundgren, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chuck Norris, and the like. Maybe he'd be near the bottom of the top 10 or a little bit out of it. But he wouldn't be in like the top 5 or anything. Do you look at Hong Kong, it'd be okay, like Jackie Chan. Honestly, I'd probably put him above Jet Li. Not in terms of, not in terms of martial artist. I'm talking about action star in terms of with acting, quality, charisma, presence. I think Hong Kong, like Jackie Chan, had just the better, bigger filmography and his charm, his goofy nature. Bruce Lee, the few movies he's in, he had that complete it factor. Chow Yun-Fat would be up there because he has that it factor as well. He's not a martial artist, but with the style that he's employed with John Woo in a different type of action, he knew how to handle that very well. And I do wish his American career had gotten more off the ground. Better projects, better scripts, whatever the case may be. Maybe a part of him just said, fuck it, I quit, I'm going back home. Or, I don't really like these type of films. I don't know what the deal is. Sorry, didn't ask him. Still very talented, still a fan. Would be nice to somehow see a big comeback from him, but at the same time, I don't think he's interested in that. So it is what it is. So, again, of all time for me, I put him a bit lower just because of those factors I mentioned. Hong Kong actors, I put him a bit higher because he does have that just, I keep saying cool. He's got that cool factor. I mean, all you have to do is watch the stuff he's done with John Woo, and it showcases that. Kind of like Kurt Russell worked with John Carpenter. Like, Kurt Russell worked well in other aspects and had more successful to me than Chow Yun-Fat. But when Kurt Russell was John Carpenter got Kurt Russell the best. I think when Chow Yun-Fat worked with John Woo got Chow Yun-Fat the best. Despite the fact I do love Replacement Killers, which John Woo produced, or at least had his name on it. So it felt a little bit more like a John Woo film. That to me is when Chow Yun-fat was at his best. When he's doing like The Corruptor and Bulletproof Monk. Chow Yun-fat wasn't the problem in those movies, it's just, you know, lame strips. And I don't know if Marky Mark or, I don't mind Sean William Scott, but I don't know if they were like the best fit with this guy. But again, the lame strips didn't help either. Now, before I go on, why did I say fuck Hong Kong Rescue? Hong Kong Rescue is this guy named Jacob, who's a fucking idiot, who, he made this website. Now, granted, it's a website where you have, you know, official things on there, and anytime you deal with that, you're taking a risk. You're taking a chance for the thrill of the moment. So try it if you got some thunder in your heart. There's always a risk. Always. Now, he had these films that were, as he put it, remastered and pretty much stuff that was in other places, but you know, I liked the packaging. The film worked. It was the best I've seen the film look. Haven't tried it again, so I don't know if it's still worse, but it did work very well. So why am I complaining about it? This guy ripped off a lot of people. So I will say this. If you ever come across Hong Kong Rescue on a website, and I mention this because I talked about Chow Yun-fat and people are like, oh, hard boiled, let me go check that out. Do not buy from this motherfucker. Because Jacob, now I know people call Jacob, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about this guy. The guy who runs this, his name is Jacob. There are people that have ordered, 2 years later they have not gotten their order. 2 years. This guy has been radio silenced for like a year. I know a friend Fabio, I think it's been 3 years. The Italian Stallion 51, I think he ordered like 3 years ago, he didn't get anything. And that this guy, like for this, when I bought it, I got lucky. And it took a month. A fucking month for it to come. I guess the guy had to go out his door in his fat ass and run toward and dropped it at my mailbox. But this fucking idiot, no, you took all these orders. Oh, here's a newsletter. Oh, I was sick. Blah, 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 blah. Radio silence. Now, I don't know, either A, he got in trouble from someone. But then if that's the case, why isn't the website shut down? Or two, he just said, fuck it. Give me the money. Now granted, that means they could fuck with him in emails. Like, where's my shit? And get 85 emails, where the fuck's my shit? And he won't respond. So you're a dead fuck. So don't order from this guy. Do not order from this guy. Because he'll take the money and you will never hear from him again. So, a word of warning. If you don't buy something, don't buy from Hong Kong Rescue, because he will rip you off. And there's a lot of people that never got their shit and got ripped off. But yeah, I know when you buy from official, unofficial places, you're always running that risk. Yeah, I take that gamble, and sadly for a lot of people, I don't know who I heard this from, but somehow I got mine. I don't know how I got lucky with it, but go fucking figure. So yeah, if that guy will never see this, but somehow if he sees this, the Hong Kong Rescue Jacob, fuck you for stealing those people's money. Give them money back or send them their product. I don't give a fuck if you're on death's door. Not on heaven's door. Hire someone, help your shit, get the shit out to people. God damn it. So, sorry, I just need a bit of a rant at the end. Not on Chow Yun-fat. Chow Yun-fat. So this still doesn't have like a good release on Blu-ray in the U.S. I mean, there was a shitty Dragon Dynasty Blu-ray. I don't know if 88 Films or something, but I mean that's still. I think you need a region-free player to play them, I believe. But goddamn, someone in the U.S. like MVD, like obviously it's the rights. But goddamn, man, like get these bullet in the head, horrible, like get these movies and good, releases for people to see in the U.S. Fucking ridiculous. They're not like unknown films. Sorry, it's not, Dynamiting Chips or whatever the fuck Vinegar Syndrome released. God damn, man. Think about all the films some of these companies. Well, it always goes back to rights. It always comes back to rights issues. It always comes back to money, not finding the material. I mean, obviously the material's there, is right here, but just the rights. It's all about the money. Anytime you think about why, it all comes down to money. Rights. Rights and money. Death and taxes. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.